It's time to do some nitpicking. So, I'm going to talk about all the problems I have with the swimming in free. Hence the swimsuit. Yay, we're talking about free again. This anime. And this review is going to be a little more like rant style, so it's just going to be me like listing off things that I was like, oh geez guys. Okay, so where do we start with this? There were a lot of things. I guess the biggest one that kind of like really smacked me upside the face is there's no sudden death elimination in free. There's no sudden death elimination in swimming. Later in the season, they're at that competition, and they're all, they're swimming and everything, and someone comes in second place, and they're like, oh, you're not moving on to the semifinals or the finals because you got second place at the wall. And I'm like, what? Okay, I swam for 13 years competitively on both club teams, summer teams, and my school team. There's no sudden death elimination in any of those leagues. Even in the international rules, I can't think of anybody who does sudden death elimination where you come in second and you don't move on to the finals. Swimming is all about the time. What is your time? So if I'm in the last heat is the fastest, and I should define what a heat is. A heat is the group of 7 or 8 people that you swim with. So if you're in the first heat with 7 other people in a 100-meter freestyle, and then there's the second heat and then there's the third heat. If you're in the first heat, that means you're slow, or you're slower than the people in the later heats. If you are in lane 4, then you've got the fastest seed time. So a seed time is the time that you have coming into the event. It could have been a time you picked up at time trials. It could be from a previous meet. It could be anything that you've swum in that league that was an official timed event. You get your time from there. 4th lane is always going to be the fastest person. 5th lane is the second fastest person. 6th lane is the third fastest person, and it kind of like oh no, not 6th lane, 3rd lane. And it kind of yo-yos out from there. So your 4th lane, that's the middle of the pool. That's going to be the fastest swimmer. And if there are 3 heats, then the 3rd heat is the fastest people. So what the whole point of explaining this to you is, swimming's about the time. It doesn't matter if you're in heat 3, the last heat, and you come in second at the wall, then if the semifinals or the finals is taking 8 people, then that means that 7 other people in the heats before you would have to have been faster than you in order for you to not move on to the semifinals. It doesn't matter where you came in at the wall. It doesn't matter. Completely irrelevant. If you come in 8th at the wall in the 3rd heat and you're still faster than everybody else behind you, then you go on to the semifinals. It doesn't matter what you touch at. It matters what your time is. So yeah, when Haru comes in second at the wall and Rin's like, you're not going to the semifinals, I'm just like, how is this meet structured? What are you guys doing? Because his time had to have been less than a second off of Rin's. He's definitely going to the finals unless 7 other people manage to edge him out, like in that tiny, tiny little time window. So there's that. And then Rin gets out of the water. I love this part. And he looks down at Haru, and spoilers if you haven't figured this out. He looks down at Haru, and he goes,
I beat you. This victory means I never have to swim with you again. Ever.
and I'm like, ooh, okay. You guys are both males in the same age group, swimming the same strokes, who are half a second off of each other's times. You guys are going to be swimming with each other forever. Every single meet you two go to that your 2 schools are involved in, that's going to be the meet where you race that person again. You're just going to keep racing each other because you're so close in time. You know, you're not different age bracket, you're not different genders, you know, you're definitely going to be swimming against each other again. So it was kind of a bizarre thing for Rin to say. I was like, oh, okay, Rin, I don't know why you think that. Are you quitting swimming after this one event? Also, speaking of, how meets are won. So, in the States at least, I honestly don't know how they do this in Japan, but you can't, if you're doing a swim in the school bracket at least, if you're doing a summer swim or club swim, you can bend this rule. In the school bracket, it is a team event. If you want your team to move on to like regionals or whatever that is, your whole team has to win the meet. You can't do that with 4 people. It's pretty much physically impossible unless the other team also has only 4 people. So the way points are divvied up in swim meets is first place, I think, gets 6 points, and second place, you know, gets 5 points, and then it kind of like spreads out from there. But that's for every event. So that's for the 100-meter IM, 200-meter IM, 400-meter IM, 100-meter breaststroke, 200-meter breaststroke, 400-meter breaststroke, on and on, 500-meter free. You know, you keep going on, and you've got all of these events. And when you've only got 4 characters, who, by the way, only seem to swim 1 stroke. What? You can't only swim 1 stroke. You have to swim multiple strokes, if not every stroke. I can't even imagine, like, just going to a meet and swimming 1 event, maybe 2, because you're in both of those. I'm going to swim the 100 free, and then I'm going to turn around and swim the 200 free, and that's it. Maybe the relay. That's it. That's all I'm going to swim. Why did you come? What? Do you not care? Anyway, it's extremely impractical. It's like joining a basketball team and being like, I'm never gonna shoot. I'm just gonna dribble. It's like, you're only playing half the game then, aren't you? So at least at the competitive level. When you're 10, it's kind of fine. When you're 15, it's not fine anymore. So the guys have 4 members on their team. So they have to all swim. You do a freestyle relay and a medley relay. There's no even indication that Ray can even swim freestyle. So I don't know how they're going to do the freestyle relay. But they all do the medley relay, and that's kind of a big plot point for the series. And then they all swim individual, like, 1-stroke events. Nobody deviates. The only person you ever see swim 2 strokes is Rin. Rin can swim fly and freestyle. He can do both. I guess it was that special training in Australia that taught him how to do more than 1 stroke. Yeah, so with only 4 people, you just can't accumulate enough points. You can't win the meet. It's impossible. You'd have to have, usually you want at least 2 people from your team in an event, so that you pick up, maybe you pick up 2nd place, but you also pick up 5th place, and those combined points kind of boost you up in the numbers. That's why when they go to the rival school's team, there's like 50 guys. You usually want about 50 people on your team so that you have enough people to pick up those points. And Iwatobi just doesn't have it. Now, there is an exception to this. If you're doing something like Metros or I think All-Stars, anytime that's like just about the individual, you don't really see that in the school bracket as much, but you do see it in the club bracket. And again, maybe Japan does something like that where they do a individual meet only instead of a school team meet. And in that, if you have a fast enough time, you can go to that 1 meet for that 1 event. Like, I qualified for JOs in my 100-meter flies, so I could go to the the Junior Olympics, the Junior Olympic meet and swim that 100-meter fly, and that would be the one thing I could swim because that's the only thing I qualified for. So technically, if the guys go and they do their 100-meter, and they do their, it's a down and back. It's a 400-meter IM, I think they're swimming. No, it's a 200-meter IM because they're only doing 50s. So they're swimming their 200-meter medley relay. They could, I guess, conceivably go for that 1 event, but it's highly unlikely that they would go and represent Iwatobi. They'd probably just go by themselves. It would be like an individual thing. It wouldn't be, maybe a school event. It would be more of like, oh, our team only is qualifying for this. I've just never really seen a school do much of anything like that. I've seen it definitely on the club circuit, though. So it's possible, but it was still kind of like, it jarred me a little. I was like, really? They went for that one event? Okay. What are other things that kind of bugged me? Yeah, they do kind of address this. You definitely 100% cannot sub another team's player in at the very last minute for medley relay and not get disqualified. Yeah, that's the spoiler for the finale. Rin jumps in instead of Ray to swim the butterfly, and they're all like, okay, yeah, you're disqualified. You can't do that. That's 100% illegal. What kind of like bugged me though was they all seemed surprised. I was like, guys, you knew this going in. You knew going in that you were gonna just get disqualified for doing this. Like 100%, no questions, totally against the rules. It was still a cute moment though. Good character moment for Rin though. So I'm willing to give it more of a pass. Speaking of character moments, Haru and freestyle. So Haru's supposed to be like Japanese Michael Phelps. He's super fucking fast. It's like second nature. He's just got the build for it. Whatever it is, Haru is dynamite in the water. He only swims freestyle. So, again, you can't only swim one stroke. That's ridiculous. Particularly if you want to go on to have any kind of career or renowned in the sport. So they kind of try and play it off with the pun on the name free, and he only swims free. And he only swims free because freestyle, technically the rules for freestyle are you can do whatever the fuck you want as long as it gets you down and back. You don't touch the bottom, you don't touch the lane rope, you don't touch the walls. So as long as you get down and back, you can do pretty much whatever you want in freestyle. So they're trying to play it off like, oh, Haru only swims freestyle because that's the only stroke where you can do whatever you want and nobody will disqualify you and you can just go do it, and that's like how he rolls. He's all about the freedom to be in the water. My problem with this is he does front crawl textbook. Like, if he deviated, if he was like winning his events doing the side stroke, that would be one thing, but he doesn't do that. He follows every single last unofficial rule for front crawl that there is. You see him dive in, and he's dolphin kicking, with his feet to the side. So he dolphin kicks in his streamline, unofficial rule of freestyle. Always dolphin kick in your streamline. It's the fastest kick you have, so do it underwater. He comes up, he's doing rotary breathing every 2. Again, that's pretty standard. I do every 3. Some people do every 5. Usually the less you can breathe, the faster your time. But yeah, he follows every single unofficial rule of swimming freestyle that there is. So this whole concept of, oh, he only swims freestyle because he likes the freedom of it is kind of bullshit. It's really bullshit. Yeah, they're trying to play it off like it's a character thing. It's not. It's just him being weird. And again, this kind of goes back to like maybe why I don't like Haru as much. Why do you only swim freestyle, Haru? That's not a good reason. Particularly since you literally follow all of the rules for freestyle anyways. You're not like, I'm a rebel breaking all the rules and that's why I like freestyle. It's like, no, you do it all anyways. And you have no chance of a professional career if you only swim one stroke. You have to swim the other strokes. I mean, you just have to. Like I said, you can't play basketball if you only dribble. You have to be able to shoot and pass too. Yeah, so that kind of bugged me. Every time he'd be like, I only swim free. I'd be like, why, motherfucker? Why? Why do you only swim freestyle? Doesn't make any freaking sense. Those are kind of my biggest problems with free. I honestly don't know how they got away without having a coach for as long as they did, but they did. I guess that would be up to the school. So I don't know how it would work. But yeah, so if you wanted to learn something about swimming, I guess you pretty much got it, but you have to have more than 4 people on your team to win an event, and you gotta swim more than 1 stroke. That's just the way it is. So this has been me nitpicking the crap out of swimming and freestyle. If you liked that and you want to hear me nitpick more, or you just want to check out some cool reviews, then subscribe to our channel, like this video, and I will see you all later. Bye!